even prettier decorating my porch with a candle in your mouth. Come in, come in. Are you looking for Peter Pumpkin Eater? Turns out he had that whole thing backwards, and he was crunchy too. Looks like you could use a smile. Come a little closer and I'll carve one for you.
How's it going, guys? It's the Big Slay Pumpkin, and in today's video, I'll be doing a little demo and review of the Pumpkin Nester doll from Spear Halloween 2022. Now, of course, Pumpkin Nester was a real animatronic, I believe sold in 2013. Now, I'm not exactly sure about that, but I am pretty positive it's 2013. But anyways, it's been interesting to see how much merchandise we've been getting of Pumpkin Nester, from the keychain to, of course, this actual doll, but not the prop itself, since a lot of people have been wanting him to come back. Now, I have very, very mixed feelings about Pumpkin Nester, the actual prop, but I actually enjoy the doll a lot. Now, my main issue with the real prop is that it's a swinging decoration, or a swinging prop, and I don't understand why he is one. It doesn't make sense. Lil Nester, it makes a lot more sense why he's a swinging prop. That's why I tend to like Lil Nester a little bit better. But I really don't understand why Pumpkin Nester has to be a swinging prop. So if they do bring him back, I hope they make him a standing character instead of a swinging character. But that's a little ramble about Pumpkin Nester. But this is the Pumpkin Nester doll, and my feelings on this guy are completely different. I actually love this one. I think this is one of their better dolls that they have sold. If you could see in the corner right there, I have the Uncle Charlie doll from last year. But it's interesting to see that we're getting a Pumpkin Nester doll. Now, I like him a lot, and I think they did a good job resembling the original prop here. And they even got his light-up eyes, which is new to the dolls this year. I believe he is one of 2 this year that have light-up eyes, which is interesting, but I think it's really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other dolls get the light-up eyes treatment. Now, so overall, I think they did a good job at making him look like his original prop, as I said before. I think the face, it looks a little bit different than the prop, but I have seen Pumpkin Nesters that look similar to this. I think the main reason why it's different is because obviously the LEDs in the eyes are a lot smaller than the real prop, which I guess is fine for this, because when it lights up, it's very bright and makes his eyes look bigger than they are. They did a great job with his suit. I do like how it's ripped at the bottom too, and you even have the undershirt in there too. And I just think it looks nice. And his hands are obviously just simple skeleton hands, but they did actually do a little bit of vine detailing on his feet, which I think is something cool. And, I mean, something I wouldn't expect, but they did have that detail that is on the real prop too, of course. And here's the back of him. I'll open up his little jacket back here. So this is where you replace the batteries. You just got a little Spirit Halloween tag in there, and then that's where you replace the batteries. And you could see the wire right there going up to his actual head, which is where his eyes light up, of course. So overall, I think in terms of how he looks really solid and very much like his original prop. And I don't know, I just like this one a lot, which is kind of strange because, again, I'm not the biggest fan of the original Pumpkin Nester prop, but I think they did a great job on the doll. And again, if he comes back, I'm hoping to see him as a life-size standing character. But here is the actual boxing for now. It's not even a box, I guess. Just what he comes tied to. There's obviously zip ties there. And it's gone to be really simple now. There used to be a little picture of the doll on the back with some information about it, but now it's literally just a black thing with the Pumpkin Nester doll on it, which I don't like, really. I wish they still had the little image of the doll on the back. But here's the front of it. It's just as simple as Spirit Halloween's boxing style now that's on all the animatronics. I really hope they change it up soon. I think this one is pretty bland, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan of it. It's a little bit too simplistic at this point, and I kind of wish they would go back to being a little bit more, not too much, and I wish they would go back to being a little bit more extravagant with their boxing, but maybe that's just me. But anyways, other than that, but there's something I haven't talked about yet, which is the price. Now, of course, this year's Spirit Halloween, their prices are more ridiculous than ever. This is by far their worst year in terms of pricing yet. But this guy is no exception this year either, retailing at $30, which I think is way too pricey for this thing. I believe last year the Uncle Charlie one was $25, which is still expensive in my opinion, but I really don't think these things should be more than $20. I think $20 is very fair for these things. They are quite large though, which, I mean, is awesome. They are actually really big. But I don't know, $30 for this just seems way too expensive in my opinion. So I don't know, but I still bought him because I wanted to review him for you guys and I actually liked him. And he is a very hot seller this year, so I definitely wanted to secure one before he sold out. But still, $30 is just way too much in my opinion. And I typically wouldn't buy an item like this for that much if, you know, it wasn't so sought after and I thought it would be bought out immediately. His phrases, I'm not going to say too much about them because they are just the original Pumpkin Nesters phrases, but it's nice that they kept it true to the original prop and just basically recycled his phrases into this thing. It's what I expected and it's what we got. I didn't want them to really do anything new, so I think it's perfectly fine. And it just fits the prop perfectly as they do with all the other haunted dolls just that are made from actual props. So my final thoughts on the Pumpkin Nester doll before we get to my rating of him. I think it is actually really nice that we're finally seeing a haunted doll made out of a prop that isn't a clown. Because I'm pretty sure up until this point, the only dolls that we've seen made of animatronics were clowns. So it is a very nice breath of fresh air to see one that isn't a clown, obviously. And I think Pumpkin Nester was actually a really good one to choose, as he basically fits the mold to be made into a doll nearly perfectly. Overall, I just think it's nice that we're finally seeing one that's not a clown. Obviously, this year I really expected them to make a Wacky Mole one. After seeing this, I'm kind of happy they didn't, but I still want to see a Wacky Mole doll, as I think he'd be really cool to see in a haunted doll form. But anyways, guys, now for my rating. I'm going to be giving the Pumpkin Nester doll a 8 out of 10. And in terms of all the other dolls, he's probably a 10 out of 10, or at least the top tier for me. But in terms of my overall ranking that I do for everything, including animatronics, obviously I don't think this guy is as cool as an animatronic, but I do think he's a very cool piece regardless, making my decision an 8 out of 10 right there. Still, I really love this guy. An 8 out of 10 is very fair for him, I feel, and he's just a really cool haunted doll. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my review of the Pumpkin Nester doll. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe as always. Also check out my merch and my Instagram in the description below, guys. And I guess with all that, as always, is Pixelate Pumpkin, signing out.
Looks like you could use a smile.